Oh, my writer and witness. It's been quite the journey, hasn't it?
You had special plans for the traveler from the start, didn't you?
But of course, that goes without saying. For a story to live on, it needs both a writer and a reader. Only then can my magic take effect. I chose the traveler as the witness because of the special nature of who she is. It's not easy finding someone with that kind of background, you know. For a moment, I even considered taking the role myself.
At least it made for an interesting story, right?
Huh? What are you doing here, tone-deaf bard?
With the Hexenzirkel carrying out such a risky experiment in Mondstadt, it didn't cross your minds that the Animo Archon might be slightly curious?
Sorry for the trouble, Lord Barbados.
Think nothing of it. I dare say the Animo Archon quite enjoyed coming along for the ride. Now then, as agreed, let us see the fruits of your labor.
Here, please take a look.
Well, well, well. Somehow, despite all my careful planning, it still turned out to be full of surprises. It never even crossed my mind that Rhindotter's child would be capable of handling that kind of alchemy in her stead. When he asked for help with the materials, oh my, I nearly couldn't believe it. If only the others were here too, we could all celebrate together.
I'm right here, you know. The only one who hasn't responded is the one busy stuffing her face over there.
Is that you, Barbie? A little late to the party, don't you think?
Come here, child. Let me take a closer look at you.
All right, Aunt Seer Witch. Here I am.
Just as I thought. This child's fate does not appear among the stars. Anya has accomplished what almost no one before her could.
What does that mean?
Child, all you need to know is that you're very lucky indeed.
Oh.
Just like how she was in the story, huh?
Tell me, little Durin, what will you do next? I, for one, cannot wait to see how your story unfolds.
Well, there's so much I want to do. I'm not even sure where to begin.
How about settling your most recent regret?
Not so fast, tone-deaf bard. What exactly did you just tell Durin to do?
To make a long overdue wish come true.
Thank you once again, Alice.
How much time do you have left?
I believe these should be my final moments. Just enough time to say goodbye to my dearest friend.
This feels like having to say our final goodbyes all over again. I don't like it. Not one bit.
I don't know how to respond to that. Strange. You were always such a cheerful figure in my stories. I even dubbed you the Merry Witch, you know.
Oh, please. You know full well it was your stories that first taught me what true pain and sadness felt like.
Huh.
Aside from saying goodbye to me, shouldn't you also leave a few words for the child? Since the book will be his to continue, why don't you write him a little parting note?
There's no need. His mother already did that long, long ago. All that remains is for me to convey it on her behalf. My child, these may be the last words I get to leave you. I've always thought of the characters in my stories as my children, loving each one of them, just like a mother would. But you are the most extraordinary of them all. You alone can defy the fate of this world and write the perfect ending to my story. You alone shall leave these pages for a future I will not see. Still I say to you, fly, my sweet child. Just like a forest breeze yearns for the open sky, head into the unknown and seek an adventure to call your own. If you meet a dragon bright as 1,000 jewels, dance through the air together. You are not alone, for this world has accepted your place in it. Do not lose heart. You still have many wishes left to fulfill. A long tale awaits you, my love. Let songs and flowers be the ink that fills its pages. Take my pen and use it to continue your story.
There you go! Your very own copy of the book. We wouldn't want one of the story's key witnesses to leave empty-handed now, would we? Of course, this copy isn't magical in the same way, but rest assured, all the twists and turns are still there.
Long, long ago, an evil dragon descended upon the human world, bringing terrible calamity in its wake. Bravely did the people resist, until at last, the dragon lay slain. Later, a witch with a love for stories came upon the tale of the evil dragon, and for reasons she could not explain, felt a pang of sorrow on its behalf. For she knew, despite its body being born of wicked alchemy, all along, the dragon's soul was that of an innocent child. Though the witch had a love of stories, she was not pleased with how this one ended. No, that won't do, she thought. I'll write you a better ending instead. And so she set off to do just that, borrowing a little magic from her friend. With it, she wove a dragon's egg, resolving to rear a dragon child of her own. At last, she made her mind up, adorning the cradle with a trace of palatial splendor. Then, she quietly waited for the egg to hatch. The waiting witch did not feel lonely, for she had 3 visitors by her side. Together, they beheld the hatchling's first breath of life. Holding her dragon child close, the witch promised him a life unlike that of the evil dragon. And so, nestled in his mother's warm embrace, did the little dragon's story begin. Even a war that shook the world could not halt the witches' gatherings. Yet the witches did not linger long in sorrow, for the story witch had brought glad tidings of her own. Her fellow witches offered up their blessings, eagerly debating how to celebrate the child's birth. In the end, they settled on the most vibrant balloons they could find. After all, what could be more joyous than the arrival of new life? In the midst of the dragon child's birthday celebration, the seer witch proclaimed her prophecy. But hearing this, the story witch vowed to rewrite it all, for such was her love and resolve. And so the other witches offered their gifts in turn, marvels as rare as any in the cosmos. Oh, and I almost forgot. Our new guests came bearing blessings of their own. Even a war that shook the world. The little dragon grew with... Even a war that shook the... The witches did not linger long in sorrow, for the story witch had brought glad tidings of her own. Her fellow witches offered up their blessings, eagerly debating how to celebrate the child's birth. In the end, they settled on the most vibrant balloons they could find. After all, what could be more joyous than the arrival of new life? In the midst of the dragon child's birthday celebration, the seer witch proclaimed her prophecy. But hearing this, the story witch vowed to rewrite it all, for such was her love and resolve. And so the other witches offered their gifts in turn, marvels as rare as any in the cosmos. Oh, and I almost forgot. Our new guests came bearing blessings of their own. Who knows? Perhaps this extra dash of wisdom might be all the little dragon needs to change his fate. The little dragon grew with each passing day, and the story witch, who loved him dearly, built him a big, beautiful castle. Yet in the end, she herself succumbed to time's merciless march, setting forth on a journey to a place beyond even the stars. All of a sudden, the little dragon found himself alone. He tried leaving the castle to make some new friends. Afraid he might hurt someone, the gentle little dragon hid within the castle his mother had built and came. Fortunately, a brave band of adventurers heard tell of the little dragon's story. Determined to lift his curse, they fought their way through countless trials. To help him, they offered up their blessings and made a wish to the goddess of fate. At last, their wish was granted. Shaking off his scales, the little dragon stepped out of the tower's gloom. But his time in the world beyond the castle would soon teach him this gift would bring blessings and trials of its own. The little dragon became companions with a stray cat with dark blue fur. It was a friendship born of all they had in common. Taken by the dragon's story, the stray tried to write it down. Unable to preserve his story, the little dragon wandered astray. Fortunately for him, a certain prophetess had left behind a prophecy to guide him. Following the wind's guidance, the little dragon made his escape.
Now that you've made up your mind, I shall keep my promise by explaining fate's little trick.
Guided by the breeze, the little dragon arrived at an alchemist's workshop. There he was greeted by a clay figure, a child molded by the sage witch's hands. Though gentle in appearance, he had inherited his mother's cold, sharp wisdom. What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. At last, the little dragon accepted the evil dragon's heart. The evil dragon's heart beat in his chest, and the little dragon's soul guided him forward. Thus did the... Suddenly, and without warning, the powers of darkness struck. Alas, it was here that the story witch's tale had to end.
But Durin's tale, on the other hand, had only just begun. Stepping into his mother's memories, he picked up her pen. He had made up his mind to challenge the fate that barred the way ahead. And so it was that Durin defeated the darkness and rewrote his fate. But his story is far from over.